What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's talk some Eagles football. We're going to try to. Let's go. This ain't the fuck like this game, he stinks.
Oh, shit.
It's gone.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody that's not on Facebook or Instagram. This is Monday Morning Quarterback, only on A2D Radio. Every Monday, we are brought to you by FanUp, and they're the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for A2D for 5,000 bonus points, which is a $50 value at FanUp.app, or you can find them right on the Apple Store. Just look up FanUp, and you can find them. Get the 5,000 bonus points by using the promo code A2D, and plus you get bonus points for just sign up for the app. So it's plenty of walking around money to give you plenty of time to play it and get a great feel of it. And the best thing I like about it is the no salary cap. I just think things are so much easier. More of an even playing field, as they like to say. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, the family out there. Let's talk about it. We'll circle around the NFL. We'll give you winners and losers of week 4, not only players, but teams. And our main topic at hand is going to be usually I'm excited to say it's going to be around the Philadelphia Eagles and surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles. Usually that's like an exciting thing. At least it has been pretty much since the time I started doing this, right? Like since the time I started doing any types of sports radio, for the most part, it was like there was some excitement built in to talking Eagles. So our main topic at hand is going to be Eagles week 4 breakdown. We're going to look a little bit ahead, but right now we're going to stay right in the moment. Because that's all you can do right now. There's no looking to next week right now. We got a lot to unpack, and we're going to unpack it today. And our poll question brought to you by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Fucking flies. Unbelievable.
They're back?
Unbelievable. I felt like I just saw one. Yeah, he's back there. I see him.
Man.
Well, listen, get 20. I'm going to go handle this guy. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Head to toe, taken care of. They're the best in the business. Use the promo code. Our poll question: the Eagles defense is currently the most concerning part of the team. You agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're, I would say, usually live because Facebook is not happening right now. But Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe. Be great today. Fuck with an algorithm. Pound the damn like button. Comment in. Let us know. I've been thinking about this one for a little bit, and I think you can say this for both sides of the football for the most part, but more so definitely on the defensive side of the football, is there's no stars. There's no stars. There's guys that are maybe getting paid to be stars or upper echelon, right? But there's no stars. And even if those guys that we'll talk about are upper echelon, there's still no stars. There's no big-time impact players on your defense. And if you don't have that, that's a huge concern anyway. And then when you tie in the fact that the defensive coordinator is the most missionary guy on the planet, it looks like, then absolutely they're my most concerning part. Because I came in this year at least expecting this front four to be good and different things like that, and expecting the secondary to maybe take the ball away a little bit more they've done in the past, and neither things came to fruition. And what doesn't help either one is when you play the same coverages or 5, 6 in the box every single time, and you refuse at any point to try to be the alpha on the field. Right, and that's what's concerning to me. And we talk about you don't got to blitz every play, but I mean, my goodness gracious, when you're going against some of the greats, right, in this game, you gotta be the aggressor and say you beat me with my best hit, and my best hit sure as hell ain't paying 2 safeties over top. All right, and the same thing play in, play out yesterday. When we can judge that sitting here watching it live, shit. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's licking their chops to put balls in the belly yesterday because the holes were just egregious. And I know people are going to say, well, Tom, you can't, you can't leave these guys one-on-one out there and blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm just saying I'm bringing 5. I'm bringing 6. I'm bringing 1 extra guy almost every snap on Sunday and trying to bait him into mistakes. You want to sit back on your heels and allow this front four that's really getting no pressure on the quarterback. I mean, 0 pressure on the quarterback by themselves. And you're going to continue to sit back and have no feel to say, you know what, maybe I bring an extra guy. So it's not only the talent, it's the coaching too. So it's like, I'm not trying to, pull 2 into 1, but it's the truth. I mean, it takes one in the other. Right? Last year's defense wasn't as good as this year's on paper per se, right? On paper per se. And they played a hell of a lot better than this defense. So, right? I mean, and we had major issues with our defense last year at different times. But, I mean, they look like a great defense compared to this one. Because at least they'll get some stops. At least they'll get some sacks. So that's what I'm watching. I'm watching a team that's not talented enough and then a coach that's not going to help the process out. And, yeah, people can tell me Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, they're not stars. Fletcher Cox at one point was a top 5 D-tackle in football. That day's not here anymore. It's not here. Well, Steve, the coordinator and the coach the coordinator and the players go hand in hand here. All right? He's a big time to blame. So's the talent. So it's a combo. He stinks. I would have fired Jonathan Gannon. He wouldn't even got to the locker room yesterday. He would have been canned. Okay? So I seen enough of him already. But let's not act like it's the most talented group in the world either. But then part of it always comes on coaching and helping your guys out a little bit and playing to your players' strengths. And, I haven't seen any of that done. So, I mean, we looked about for a game and a half of really good defensive football. And since then, now, great, I get it. You're playing the Cowboys. You're playing the Chiefs. But, I mean,
have a pulse. Have a pulse.
Yeah, I understand it. But you can't not get off the field ever. You can't get no pressure. You cannot change your looks.
Nobody punted yesterday. Neither team punted. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
No, that is crazy. It's. I mean, for them not to punt, I get. But, for us, I'm looking because it's just crude. We did die by. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I just think it's the most concerning group, and there's concerns all over this roster. But right now, it looks really bad. We can't compare to the talent on the Cowboys to the talent on the Eagles defensively. So, Dan Quinn's done a tremendous job. Okay, but let's please not compare the talent on the two sides of the football when we talk about it. It's just unfair. It's unfair. They have a lot more talent defensively, and it's showing you. And they're opportunistic. And let's be real, they don't have great defensive stats, Steven. So if you go look at their stats are misleading because their stats are going to tell you they're 28th in this and the Cowboys, that is. All right. But when you have 10 goddamn turnovers, all right, when you take the football away, which you have to do in today's NFL more than ever, because what you just said, how nobody punted yesterday, happens more so than not in the NFL. So what's the takeaway? The takeaway is getting takeaways. You got to create some. I don't care where your defense is ranked. I care about takeaways. So that's where I'm at. I agree. And, let people argue it because I know it'll probably be a Jalen Hurts, and I was critical of some of his throws yesterday, but he's not a guy I'm going to come after today.
No.
There's a lot of problems here.
No, the only thing you can say about the offense over the first 4 weeks is really their lack of efficiency in the red zone for the most part. We talked about it briefly, Tom, at the very beginning, right before we came on. We said, okay, well, there's a lot of ways we can go with this, right? Like we can kind of rehash what we talked about, obviously, in our live reactions and what I know you guys continued on Agreed History talking about, and that's, the organization as a whole, the people, the difference makers up top, Howie, Jeffrey, etc., and then trickling down to this coaching staff. And listen, that's not a wrong answer. It's not, and I could easily say, oh, I'll just be different. I'll disagree that it's the defense and I'll go coaching, right? But at the end of the day, we came into this season, whether we thought this team was going to be 10 wins, 7 wins, 5 wins. We knew that one of the things we could hold our hat on was this defense. At least we thought, because on paper, we thought, okay, well, the secondary is supposed to be better. Darius Slay, we used a 3rd and a 5 on him. Big play Slay. And I'll get to him in a minute because I've completely turned my opinion on him, and it's completely flipped. But I'll get to that in a few. You look at, okay, yeah, some of the guys are 1 year older, but while this team was really bad last year, the defensive line was top 3 in the NFL, so you can hang your hat on that. And if anything, you can say, oh, well, we're deeper. Josh Sweat, oh, you have more young pieces to it. You drafted some guys. You have Ryan Kerrigan. Well, that's taken a complete step backwards. And then you can say the same thing with the linebacking core. So nobody, and listen, and this goes twofold because we continuously hear, whether it's on game days, whether we hear it on Monday, Wednesday, whenever we do shows, oh, guys, you talk about the quarterback too much. You talk about the offense. Okay, cool. I don't think that's the case, but if you don't want us to talk about the offense, we won't talk about the offense. We'll talk about the defense because that's the biggest concern. It is. Because not to sound like it's the NBA or anything, but players play. And we have 2 guys on this defense, and I can rant about every single one of them, but 2 guys, starting with Fletcher Cox and ending with Darius Slay, that have done nothing. Nothing. Fletcher Cox, yesterday, he plays a majority of the snaps, and he has his second game out of 4 games this season, he had an empty statistic list. He did not record a stat.
Yeah, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I got him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, that was a fast one. Sorry.
Jesus. You're becoming a seasoned vet with all this.
Yeah, I told you I could be in the Olympics for it if there was a thing. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So you have, okay, and we talked about it right before we came on the air, Tom, that like Fletcher he's always important, obviously. But he's even more important leadership-wise because you don't have Brandon Graham, and play-wise because you don't have Brandon Graham. And I get it. Oh, he's double team, triple team, all that stuff. Hargrave, he's doing a good job. But you got to record a friggin' stat, my guy. 2 out of the first 4 weeks? Like, come on now. Like, have you just dropped off tremendously? Like, what's going on? Because I don't give a damn if Javon Hargrave is showing that he's the best player on the freaking team or the defense. This defense lives and dies off of Fletcher Cox, and it has. So is this just an example of he doesn't have it anymore or what? Because this is not like it's the first year where he's gotten off to a slow start. It's not. It's starting to trend like this. And the biggest reason why I think this defense is the biggest issue, it's not just because of what we've seen in the first 4 weeks. It's that when you talk about for the rest of the season and going into this offseason, I don't really see a light at the end of the tunnel that isn't, okay, just using 85% of your draft picks to just fix it. And then you run into the same issue with, okay, you have a ton of draft assets, but then you have the same guy in the room that's been drafting and not been able to do the proper thing for the most part over the last handful of years. Mm-hmm. So you're not improving it this year. And like we said, like we're not trying to say like we're tanking or anything, but like I think at least Tom and I, not to speak for everybody on the platform, but I think we're kind of looking past this year now. It's like, okay, we want to still learn things about this roster, but we really have to start setting us up for next offseason and next season. That way we can never have a season like we'd have had the last 2 seasons ever again, or at least anytime soon. But then I get to Darius Slay, right? And we talked about this, 2 weeks ago, Tom? I brought him up because there was a debate in our group chat.
2 years ago.
Say it again?
2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Some people did a video of I don't do the deal.
No.
Some people did a video and got smoked for doing the video. I like to circle back for people, right? Because the guy wasn't that great in Detroit. So to me, it was like, okay, you got a guy on a bad defense. You know what I'm saying? You just went and got a guy from a bad defense.
No, I completely agree with you. And this, like, that was one of the first weeks we were doing shows in quarantine when we made the trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I remember that show very vividly. We did it on a Friday. And we talked about it at the time, like, yeah, this is good because we're finally putting stock into a secondary, right? It's like, especially what we had seen for the last handful of years before that. Like, oh, you had the opportunity to get Minkah Fitzpatrick, Jalen Ramsey, and you kind of just, waved it off saying, we're going to look into it, but we're not going to do it. So it showed a good sign that, hey, we're going to make a move here. But a guy that was already in the latter part of his career, he was called Big Play Slay, but he really hadn't made a big play in a couple of years at the time. Now we're looking on like 4 to 5 years. It was a little weird to me. Like, okay, you're willing to give up a 3 and a 5 for a guy, but you're not willing to give up a second-round pick for somebody who's better, younger, and not even close to the peak of his career. But again, that was 2 years ago, so it is what it is. But then you get to last night, and I defended this guy 2 weeks ago. I've defended him a lot with a lot of different people, like with people obsessing over him or talking about like, oh, well, he's not big play Slay. Oh, but I'd be like, okay, fine, but he's a good safety blanket. He's good cover corner. So I've given him the benefit of the doubt. Until today. And it's not just because we've given up like 84 points over the last 2 weeks. It's a part of it, obviously, because it's pathetic. I don't care.
He's a loser. He's a cop-out. Detroit Lions built to lose. Is what you got. I'm so sick of it. People are going to come in here and defend this guy. He's deflected. Oh, I have nothing to see here. We just gave up 82 points in 2 games, but I played great. Kiss my ass. If that's the 2021 athlete we live in, look at my numbers, but the win-loss doesn't matter. And that's a definition of Detroit football the last 20-plus years, and it's a definition of Darius Slay. And I said he was a loser before we traded for him, and it's exactly what he is now. Stop calling yourself that name. Take the name off your Twitter handle immediately. You are not Big Play Slay. I think Sweep said it last night. You're no. What do you say? You're just average Joe. You know what I mean? You're average Joe Slay, or you're just get it done Slay. Like you're not Big Play Slay.
You're not Big Play Slay. I'm gonna start calling you Make a Play Slay because I have yet to see you make a damn play.
Sorry, Don. I'm sorry. I know it's your Lions. I know it, but I'm sorry.
And I see what you're saying, Tom. Like, Kanye East, interesting name, by the way. He says Slay did play good enough. Did he? How many points did we give up? How many interceptions did we have? You know what I'm saying? The one interception was not him. I believe it was Eric freaking Wilson. It was a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, Slay definitely isn't the problem. Sure, he's not at the top of the list, but is he a part of the solution? No, absolutely not.
I'm not here to crush him on performance. I'm here to crush him on being a leader.
Yes,
being a leader.
This just goes back to, and I'm not going to put the entire team on this, but it's a freaking trend. So I was giving him the benefit of the doubt until he goes to Twitter yesterday. He goes out of his way to congratulate Trayvon Diggs for, being a good player yesterday, actually doing what maybe he should be like Big Play Diggs, because I believe like in that guy's career, he's had more interceptions than Darius had in like last 5, but that's fine. So you're going to congratulate him like 20, 30 minutes after the game. Also the same guy that like absolutely showed up your offense last week. Like we just got blown out by him, Darius, and his team, but that's fine. Then you're going to tweet at Glenn Macnow because Glenn Macnow he had a criticizing tweet. Okay, what are you worried about? And then you tweet out, I guess, a message to your fans saying, in my 9 years, only 2 wide receivers had 100 on me. Y'all got to stop playing with my name. First off, I'm not like a stat guy, but I think that's a lie. And if you haven't given up 100 yards to more than 2, how many times have you given up 95? 98, 90.
Well, that's what I said last night. How many
Did you?
times you give up 85 and 2 touchdowns? I mean, we talked about it on Agree Disagree when you sent the tweet to me. I mean, how many times did you give up 85? How many times did you give up 70 and 2 touchdowns? Did you give up 50 and 3 touchdowns one time? Did you give up 20 and 2? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not gonna. But the fact of the matter is, after the game is not the time to be doing this. It's not the time. Your defense got exposed. Be a leader. It's not even about your play on the field. I'm not telling people that he's the biggest problem out here. I'm telling people that's loser mentality. That's guys that I'm not trying to build a locker room around. Okay, that's guys that I'm trying to do the opposite of. All right, so I'm not telling you he's played great. He's played bad. He's played in the middle. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm telling you that I'm ready to move on immediately. Immediately when you're worried about your individual stats, first off, that just goes to show me that there's no control as from head coach on down in this environment. Okay, and you can tell by the penalties. You can tell by guys just pulling the gun out after the game. Nobody's done this on me.
They're trying to get theirs, Tom. Their business decisions one-on-one. Like, how many times you would think, again, and this is just a lack of self-awareness, I guess, and I didn't think Darius fell under this until, like I said yesterday, but you just saw a friggin' teammate of yours go to war. He still is going to war with this fan base because of the Twitters, the Instagrams, etc. Mr. friggin' Jalen Reagor. You would think that you would be like, okay, listen, if your game plan in the morning is like, okay, I don't care if I'm liked, cool. But, like, you don't want to make things harder for you, do you? Like, the last thing you need to do when you go to Twitter is, okay, talk about, oh, well, I got mine today. We lost by 40, and we've given up 84 the last 2 weeks, but I did my job today. When you didn't. You didn't. If you had 3 interceptions, okay, great. If you allowed 0 yardage as far as big plays, okay, great. But you haven't done that, Darius. If you want to say you haven't been the problem, cool. But you have not once since you've been here, Mr. 3rd and 5th round pick, Mr. Oh, I'm going to get you, extend you, then extend you again. We've extended you twice. You have not once come into a game on a Sunday, a Monday, a Thursday, whatever, and said, I'm going to carry this defense on my back today. And the reason why you haven't done that, and that's not saying you are saying that, but you've never shown that to us once. You haven't. You haven't. And at the end of the day, you look at everything that goes into what he was trying to portray to the fan base last night. I put it on Facebook. I said, oh, Darius, I'll translate it for you. The defense sucks, but not me, though. That's equivalent to if Jalen Hurts went to Twitter and said, oh, well, we lost today, but I got 425 yards, so it's not me, though. Don't at me. It's equivalent to it. If actually it's worse. Because Jalen Hurts is still, in his second year? Darius Slay, especially without Brandon Graham, is supposed to be one of these leaders. And that's what you're doing? That's what you're doing. It's comical to me. And then to your point, Tom, and the Sweeps' point, oh, well, big play Slay. First off, you can remove the little at big play Slay 24. That's fine. You can change it to make a play Slay because you haven't been big play Slay since 2017. And you followed up that year, 2017, going downwards. You went from 8 interceptions to 3 interceptions to 2 interceptions to 1 interception to 0. That's not big play Slay. That's I'm getting worse every year, Darius Slay.
So it wasn't that good to begin with. So I that's why I'm not engaged into the conversation. I'm not engaged in Darius Slay. This is nothing new to me. Like he's a loser. He's a loser. He hasn't made a play since he got here. I don't expect him to make a play, and everybody's gonna tell me they don't throw his side. Good. Okay, good. He's just a fine corner in this league. He's not a great one. He's not a bad one. He's just okay. He's just okay. And he can deflect all he wants after the game. He's a loser. That's a loser mentality. And that's a 2021 athlete. And I don't have time to even waste another breath on him. Like that's the problem. It's the problem. Like I don't know what else to say to people out there. Like everybody wants to defend them. It's everybody's best friend, right? It's everybody's best friend because he won't come on my show or he won't do this or he won't do that. And I see everybody and I see right through you.
He won't retweet my tweet.
I mean, I just don't know what people want. I mean, I want leaders. I want accountability. I want guys to say, oh, right, that you don't even need to put out a tweet today.
What's there to disagree about? I'm lost here.
I don't understand. You guys are okay with him deflecting and not even saying anything yesterday. It's not the time or the place. This defense got put up 82, 84, 86. I don't care. Too many. too many for anybody to say, oh, I didn't do nothing wrong. No. What? I didn't ask if you did anything wrong. That's like if I didn't ask if you did anything wrong and you just want to tell me, yo, by the way, that shooting around the block I had nothing to do with. Well, what shooting? I didn't hear about a shooting. Right? So this is how it sounds like to me. Like, so what are you guilty of? What are you guilty of? What's the tape tell you you're guilty of? Going into the film room today, which it would be today, or tomorrow, whenever they're back, right? And watching film. What's the film room going to tell you that you feel like you have to defend something? Right? I want playmakers. The great corners in this league are guys who take the football away. That's as simple as that. As simple as that. You think people don't throw Xavier Howard? You think people didn't get that memo? Dude had 11 picks last year. You think at some point through the year people were no, they're not going to. Everybody gets thrown at. It's the NFL, right? Unless you're like Revis Island. Well, what have they done? What have they done? Like, I'm not telling you that they've been. Both of them have been atrocious. I'm telling you they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything to help us win a football game. So they're not the full point, but they're the leaders of this defense. It starts with your leaders and then it works your way out, right? So I'm looking at my two leaders, my two veterans, and say it'd be a great time for Fletcher to beat a double team. It'd be a great time just to maybe get a tackle, right?
Do something. Like the stat junkies can't even go to the defense of the guy today. You know what I'm saying? Like usually it's like, oh, a player had a good game or a bad game, but they go to the stats like, oh, no, he did have a good game. No, he's been non-existent. Like you can't even find his name on the stat sheet. Like it's not there. Like, did he play? He had a bunch of snaps, but maybe he was just standing there. Like he had the same amount of tackles as Ryan Kerrigan yesterday. Okay. Like, so we could say, oh, well, you can't say they haven't done anything. What have they done?
What have they done? Like attacks on these guys, man. Fletcher Cox was a great player here for a long time. He's just not the same player anymore. I understand that, but he didn't do anything wrong yesterday for me to have a problem with Fletcher Cox. I was just saying that your two stars aren't stars anymore. Okay, they're not stars anymore. So that's what the whole conversation began with when I agreed to the poll that defense is a big time concern for me, or the biggest concern for me, is because I don't have stars on my defense. That was the whole point. That was the whole point. That was the whole point of this conversation. I talked about the tweet last night. I don't even care about the tweet anymore. Right? Ryan was just talking about it. I don't care about it. I said the same things last night. So I'm just being repetitive on it. That's a loser. That's a guy I don't want in my building anymore. And if I'm a head coach trying to set a culture, that's sure as hell a guy I don't want in my building. So just because I don't make that statement, I don't want those statements online because I'm just a guy. And I'm sitting here saying if I was his teammate, I got a lot of questions to ask you on Monday. On Monday. Because you got nothing to do with nothing? Nothing? Okay, fine. You're off the hook because all 11 guys that play on Sunday and the guys that come off the pine and rotate in all have something to do with Sunday.
If I'm his teammate, I'm going to him being like, okay, you're saying you're not the problem. Care to share who is? Am I the problem? Is he the problem over there? Is he the problem over there? Like, why don't you start naming names? Because you're insinuating something and you want to insinuate something unprovoked. Nobody asked you, Darius. This isn't a press conference thing. You felt the need to go tweet.
Yeah, I do agree that Hargrave isn't having the type of year he's having without Fletcher next to him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I agree with that. But you can be a double once, right? You can be a double twice, maybe something. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just starting with my leaders. I'd say the whole defense is a concern because there's no stars. So if criticism equals you're not a star anymore, then I don't know what to tell anybody anymore because there's no stars on our defense. There is not. And if you want to be able to slow people down, if you want to be able to go and judge this football team moving forward, because this is what this year is. It's a judgment moving forward on what we need, on what we really need, starting just on next year's draft and having a lot of money going into next year. What we need are stars on the defense side of the football. All right, I know we might need a quarterback. We're not there yet. We'll give that grade at the end of 17, and we'll go from there. We're not there yet, right? Mm-hmm. But what I do need, I need right this minute, is star power defensively. Mm-hmm. Do I need offensive line help? Probably. Sure, down the road. Do I need maybe running back help? Probably not. We don't run the ball. Do I need maybe another wide receiver? I don't know. But offensively, I feel a lot more comfortable saying, hey, DeVonta Smith had a chance to be a star, right? I don't know what Dallas Goedert fully is yet, right? But he's looking better this year.
Look good. Gainwell's look good. Yeah.
Gainwell's look good. I mean, Miles untouched the ball, so I can't say he's looked good or bad. Right. So, Quez has looked good, right? Jalen's been meh. Rager, I'm talking about. Jalen Rager's been meh. Like lukewarm. Hasn't done anything. Hasn't done anything for me to crush him, but also hasn't done anything for me to be like, yeah, he's made it. Right. Yeah. But still, there's enough talent over there. Look at the defense, guys. You don't have linebackers. I mean, Alex Singleton stinks.
It's horrible.
Stinks. So all the criticism that I'm deflecting to my $100 million defensive tackle and to my way overpaid cornerback, because I don't expect Alex Singleton to be good. I said he wasn't good when people told me all last year, this guy's got to be back on the roster. At the end of week 17, we were doing a show. I can't tell you, there was probably 500 comments how he needs to be back on this roster. And no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You need to go get a linebacker. And they went and got one in Eric Wilson. But the problem is they didn't address the other one. Then they have a third-round pick that supposedly plays linebacker, not even on the field. So enough. So I can't. What I look at is my secondary. Okay? Nelson's not going to be here. Anthony Harris isn't going to be here. Rodney McLeod's not going to be here. So, whoa, and they're not even stars. I need a lot. Defensive line. I mean, Fletcher Cox might not be here. Brandon Graham might not ever be the same, right? So you got Hargrave and who? Josh Sweat. So, I mean, you got a lot of holes looking for stars than you do on the offensive side. And that's not crowning the offensive side. It's just they played better. So what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to analyze it? We got to come in here and Fletch, there, because you're my guys. I can't tell you how it really is right now. And how it is this defense has got flat out exposed through the last 10 quarters. 10 quarters of football. 10 quarters of football. And it started with the Niners football game, guys. It started in that Niners game. It started to go downhill where we couldn't stop the run. Haven't been able to stop the run at all. So just the riddle, everybody can riddle me this, riddle me that. But I watched them run a bunch of times the Fletcher side yesterday. I watched them run a bunch of times just in general. We don't have enough good defensive tackles. I mean, you tell me Milton can't get on the field over Ridgeway? So these are the things that like I want to see. I don't need to see Hassan Ridgeway. I need to see Milton play. Right? I need to see some of these younger guys play.
Teron Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. Guys that you drafted.
I'm not trying to be unfair to Fletch in the situation.
Fletch
proved that he's one of the best Eagles defensive tackles of all time, if not linemen. But the other guy is who I've always had a problem with, and it continues now because I think it's all show. I don't know. That's all. I don't think it's rocket science.
I don't think it's rocket science. The people that are saying, "Oh, well, why are you talking about these two?" Well, to your point, Tom, we don't have stars, but the guys that are supposed to be stars, if they're not playing like stars, who's going to then take the mantle? Isn't the whole point other than trying to win games, which good luck with that with the rest of the season? But it's like the main purpose, the main goal, aside from the obvious this season, was trying to figure out, hey, who do we need to make sure is in our organization in the future, and who can we let go? Because we all know there's going to be a lot of roster turnover over the next year and a half. So if our biggest thing coming out of the season is, there's really no immediate need to go out of our way to keep Darius Slay and Fletcher Cox, then we have to address that. And if there's anybody out there who says, we still have to keep those guys on the roster for the next couple of years, I don't see where that comes into play. I don't see the reasoning.
I mean, I'm ready to move them both now.
Yes.
I mean, not right this minute, but by the deadline, if we're not.
Sell high, not waiting too long. How many players have we waited 1 year too long and then not been able to get anything for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know when you decide to move on.
There's not, honestly, I go down because I've got all the snap counts here. I go down and I say, okay, out of these guys, and I'll just, we'll play along with this, Tom. Tell me which, if I name a player, that's a player that needs to be a part of the Eagles going forward. Okay. So Darius Slay. No. Anthony Harris, no.
No.
Steven Nelson, obviously no. And people in the comments saying, oh, where's that energy for Steven Nelson? He signed a 1-year, $4 million deal in August. Nobody's expecting. He's a Band-Aid. So, we're not going to bring that same energy. Anyway, I don't know why people are trying to compare those two. Avonte Maddox in the slot.
No.
Alex Singleton, obviously no. Wilson, no. McLeod, no. I love Rodney, but he can't stay healthy. Fletcher, if you can get a good deal for him, yeah, I gotta move him. I'm not gonna give him away for a 6th, but if there's a team that's gonna give us a good asset for him, I'll get rid of him. Josh Sweat.
No, he's here, so.
Yeah, sure. He's got to be here, unless we have nobody on the roster next year. Hargrave, yes. Barnett, no. He can't be here. He can't. I'm almost ready to be like, okay, well, you've got to get some of these young guys snaps over Barnett. But it's tough. I can't say Kerrigan should play over him because Kerrigan, sure, he doesn't have the stupid penalties, but he's not doing anything. I know Milton Williams kind of plays DN. He could play both. So do we try him out just because Barnett's not giving you anything in the positive and he's giving you everything in the negative. So when's the time where we got to start flipping those things? Kerrigan, obviously no. Marcus Epps, Jannard Avery, TJ Edwards, Sean Bradley, Davion. I got to say Davion Taylor because he was a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, I mean he'll be here. Obviously, a lot of enough of these guys will probably be back, but they also have a lot of money, and they obviously are going to have a lot of assets to use in the draft on these things. I mean, you're not going to do it all in one off season, and maybe they keep Slay and Cox are here next year, and then you continue to revamp it, right? I don't know. Which I think everybody would be okay with if you're using 2 first-round picks on defensive players and you spend a little bit of money on defensive players and you're like, okay, you're trying to be a really good defense, right? But yeah, right now it just doesn't look good.
Tom, just off the top of your head, how many, because I've got it in front of me, how many snaps do you think Davion Taylor, 3rd-round pick, had yesterday? Because we talked about it. How many times do you think he got in the field? How many snaps?
5.
9.
Okay.
That's an atrocity.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think you're about to say it, especially given how none of our linebackers can play. So it's not like he's being blocked.
Yeah. Nobody. Oh.
Positive though.
Which is weird. I don't know. It's just
why?
Weird. Why would it's a new regime? Why would you just not play him? You're watching this. I don't know.
Especially, what doesn't make any sense to me too? We know that, okay, a lot of the personnel decisions on game day are coming from up top. It's coming from Howie and Jeffrey. They drafted Davion Taylor. So you would think they would be pushing him.
Well, we do have breaking news, by the way. Yes, you would think that.
I don't know. I don't know I don't know what this is. So go ahead.
The only thing we've all agreed on this show. The only. I think I lost it. Wow, was that far back? There's no way we got that many comments so far after that. But whatever. Joe Castro said that IG and Facebook are back.
Oh God, I thought somebody got I thought somebody got traded.
No. It was good news. It was good news.
No, that's great news. It
was great news. It was the first great news we were able to smile about on this show because everything else has been a train wreck. It's not fun talking about these things. It's not fun. I started the show off saying this isn't fun. I'm used to the 7 years of doing this being competitive or looking forward to things. Make sense? There's always been one or the other. Being competitive, either I had, I knew I was drafting the top, whatever. Everything always felt like that when you're talking Eagles the last, I would say 7 years, because a lot of it was Doug, right? I mean, you had Doug in that regime, so you had that for a minute. Obviously the Chip Kelly wasn't a good time. No. First year of it was.
Well, that was fun.
But you still had talent here. You still had some things you could
Well, I mentioned it yesterday that even when we were winning, winning. I say winning, like we were making the playoffs, like we were like anything. Oh, by the way, Gannon's groupie's here. By the way, are you loving the latest and greatest 4-0 def? So bad. That's so bad.
Russ, real quick too, Russ. I've watched him make tackles and been like, the one week we did live reaction, like, who's that guy?
We were like, ooh.
Davion Taylor. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he flashes something.
He looked fast. So it's like the Ryan said earlier, I don't know why the general manager who loves to have his hands on. Well, I do know why. I do know why. And the reason why he stunts growth of players in game day is so we don't have to pay their asses. Because you're talking about a money and sense guy that wants to handle football stuff. So now when you have your hands in the money and you have your hands in the player guys, you want to, and you're that much of a nerd like he is, you say, hold on, if I don't give these guys a lot of snaps, I can come in for less. Jordan Mailata, Josh Sweat, Davion Taylor. You see where I'm at here? It's more yes men. It's more guys that are going to just, these guys will sign this deal, right? Like they ain't walking out of this room, and that's what it is. I'm telling you, it ain't about guys being able to play. I mean, maybe at this point, JJ, he might not be able to play, but you know what I mean? Like when you're talking about, I'm talking about third round on mostly, right? Third round on is when he can do it. He can't do it in the first and second, right, guys? Like he can't get away with it. But from the third round on, when even if a guy should be playing, where you find a lot of good football players, honestly, if you're good at what you do, and there's even the other side of it, they don't. After the third round, it's been reported the Eagles, Howie and Jeffrey don't even handle it anymore. Finally, thank God, and other guys do. So that could be another reason on why they do it, right? Where they're like, hold on, we're gonna pump the brakes on this guy playing because it ain't our pick, even though it's their pick, right? Or the one that makes more sense, honestly, is they stunt the growth of some of these later round guys that should be playing because you just aren't good enough. They stunt it for dollars and cents. Like you could make an argument Josh Sweat should have been getting snapped for 2 years now if he was healthy. Like you'd make the argument that he brought something on third downs to the table. Okay, you make that argument, right? So you can make the argument that Mailata, you could, maybe not Mailata, you can't make the argument for because, he was more raw. But there's other guys.
Quiz Watkins over Jalen Reagor. Perfect example.
Well, no, because you're not going to do that. You just use the first round pick on him. He's still one of your top 3 wide receivers, so you're not stunning him.
Yeah, yes.
Quez, you're not stunning him because most teams run 3 wide receiver sets. So you're not really stunting them.
I hear you.
Look up snap count; they're pretty close. I would assume. Not crazy where he's stunning him from playing.
Yeah, it's 70% Reagor, 58% Watkins. So in this game, it's not that much different.
Nah. Some of these guys, I could see them doing that, or maybe internally they believe that Alex Singleton's good enough.
Well, I think the thing with Davion Taylor,
might be worse. It might be worse.
Aside from the stunning of the growth, which I do buy into, is honestly, I think the Davion Taylor thing goes back to his criticisms in college, and that was he's highly athletic. I just don't think he knows how to play football. You know what I'm saying? To where like, oh, he's athletic, we're going to put him on the field, but like if we put him on the field for more than 30% of the snaps, this guy's just going to maybe run the wrong way, like Nate Gary. Like I don't know.
Football. I mean, he played Division I football.
I hear you, but
not arguing you with it. Like just like ask that question. Like I feel like he's got to, he's not coming from rugby. I mean, he's got to know a little bit about football.
But again, we drafted him, so who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like this guy was supposed to go in the 5th round. We take him in the 3rd.
Yeah, linebackers are our biggest need, Derek. And then you can go from there, right, guys?
Well, and what I was going to say, Tom, is that like when we were winning in 2018 and 19, we were competing, we were making the playoffs. We still talked about in the moment that like, oh, okay, this is fun. We're winning. We've got the Brandon Grahams, the Fletcher Coxes of the world, the Malik Jacksons, I guess, when he was healthy. But we knew like, okay, we've got like the thing at the back of our head saying, well, we've got to start figuring out some of these young guys. Like Fletcher Cox isn't going to be 28 for long. You know what I'm saying? Like Brandon Grahams, he's going to get old. They're going to get hurt. So we got to start figuring out like the next line of defense. And every year the organization's like, oh yeah, that's fun. We're going to get older and we're going to just continue to draft the wrong guys. And now we're here Like we've reached the point where like in 2018, we're like, well, damn, this is fun right now, but like in 3 years, it's going to get really bad. Well, we're here now. We're here to where like the guys who were really good for us are now old or hurt or not as good or overpaid. And the guys that we like prayed and hoped and like crossed our fingers that were going to be like, not Fletcher Cox. It's hard to like automatically replace him and Graham, but like to just band-aid it up or just show that, hey, you can be like the next mantle of things.
Well, no, I mean, they address it when they go out and get a guy like Nigel Bradham, and then it doesn't matter to him anymore. Like that's what I don't understand. Like at times you show like, okay, it has importance to it, and especially in a spread offense world, right? Like even more so today in a spread offense type world, and everything faster sideline to sideline. I mean, you got to have some guys that can fly around out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you talk about, you know, the really good defenses that have ever played, they've always had one thing in common. They've always had one thing in common, and that strictly is they've had great linebacker play. Right? I mean, I don't know how else to say that to people. and we have never had great linebacker play here in a long time. But you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, a long time when I'm talking about like damn good ones.
Before we get to the national, we give our top five. What's your early feelings for Panthers, Eagles? Because like you're gonna laugh at me, just especially because of how I've promoted and preached the other guy. I think we're gonna win on Sunday. Like I do. I just have a weird feeling.
Probably will. I mean, I don't think they're that. You know, I think they're okay. The Panthers. Yeah. I don't think we're any good, but you know, I could see it. I could see us winning it, but
and McCaffrey's not playing. Like I could see us giving up like 100 yards to Chuba Hubbard because, of course. But like, if McCaffrey was playing and if he was like reasonably healthy, I'd say okay, we're probably because we can't stop the rush. So why would we be able to stop that guy? And they have good receivers. Obviously, DJ Moore's always open, but I think if there is going to be a week where maybe the defensive line actually does their job. We saw this with the Jets, and I know it's not the Jets anymore, but you can get to Sam Darnold. You saw this with the Cowboys defense, that if you get to him early, you can get him to start forcing the ball and turn the ball over a lot. So I think the Panthers are a playoff team, but I think this is one of those weeks where maybe you can steal something. I'm not like betting my entire reputation on it, but like it's just something weird. Like I just have a feeling type thing.
Yeah, I got to tell you every week it's not weird in the NFL. It's not weird to say anything. It was like they had a chance to stay in yesterday's game and put momentum out. I mean, it's the NFL, so you don't know what you're going to get week to week, especially from this football team. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to expect. You could think you go down there and this offense was going to be good like they were last week, and you know they're playing against a better defense in Carolina too. So you know that could be a little bit of a struggle bus. You know, this past week they got a little bit of a cupcake because that's Kansas City's Achilles heel. They still played really good or good. They played good football offensively, but can they replicate it? Can they put two back-to-back weeks together? We're going to find out. Defensively, I just don't know how I trust it. So, like right now, I would have to see it. I would have to see you come out and slow anybody down. And I don't even think Sam Darnold's any good. No, I'm still stuck on Sam Darnold Jets. So, but. I think they'll probably win just because.
Bring us back in for a week before we get thrown out by the Bucs on a short week.
I mean, because now, like personally, like I'm ready to. I almost pulled up like a mock. You know what I mean? Like I'm already checking myself out of here.
You know what's scary?
And they'll probably figure out a way. Find a way to win a football game, and then they're 2-3, and it's like, oh well, they're still in it.
This is like scary because literally, as you were talking a second ago, you say you were about to pull up a mock. You can't see this, but in my other browser, I literally have Tankathon up with our mock draft.
No, it's the season. Yeah, 4 weeks in.
I think 3. Well, I'll pull it up here on my phone too. It is. We would have 4, 8, and 9. 4, 8, and 9.
That would be great.
Can we trade 2 of those picks for like the number 1? Like, can we do that?
Yeah. Bobby says he thinks Hubbard will go for 120 yards.
Well, I do have Hubbard in fantasy, so that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are the better team too. Bobby, right? I mean, how can you not think that?
Oh,
right,
they're definitely a better team. Yeah.
But it's the NFL, and they're coming off a loss, so let's see. Does that take Carolina in this direction, or do they rebound? I don't know.
Do you just for the hell of it, you want me to tell you who they have us taking the first 3 picks? It's not gonna. I mean, it doesn't matter, but just for the hell of it,
sure.
Kyle Hamilton, safety, Notre Dame at 4, off to a good start, off to a really good start. At number 8, they have us taking Kenyon Green, interior offensive line / offensive tackle from Texas A&M. And then they have us taking an edge rusher from Purdue, George Karlaftis.
Yeah, I don't know enough about George. But we are there. Umberto, thank you. He said, you guys agree our future is bright at the skill positions, though? Yeah, I think so. I mean, way better than we're talking about the defense.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it yesterday, right before we ended the live reaction show. When DeVonta Smith has a real NFL quarterback, and I say that when Jalen Hurts plays like a real NFL quarterback, weeks 1 and obviously yesterday, he's really good. He's just always open. You can beat him so many different ways. I don't have any problems with him. Like, and we talked about it kind of on Wednesday. Like, oh, everyone talking about, oh, well, that could have been Jamar Chase. Well, it couldn't have. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't there. So like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that could also have been Rashad Bateman if we're pulling the Jalen Reagor thing from 2 years ago. So we took the right guy. Like there was 3 guys that I think you and I, Tom, were always kind of preaching, and that was Parsons, even though we knew they were never going to get him because it's the Eagles. Surtain, which we would have both loved, but he was taken early, and obviously DeVonta. So we came out of draft night saying if we got one of those 3 players, we would be happy, and I think we're still very happy with that.
Yeah, agreed. I'll say one more thing. If we go down Carolina and this defense gets exposed again, I don't know what you do. I don't know how you don't fire somebody.
Well, Sirianni did say that he still believes in Gannon, but he has to have tough conversations this week. Now, I don't know if that's just talking. I don't know if that's coach speak, but when you hear tough conversation, that's kind of like that tells me hot seat. You know what I'm saying?
So he said this about his coach, but then about his players, he said, we don't disappoint at practice because it takes away from reps.
Yeah. Well, how's that working out for you, Nick? Your players seem real locked in with those extra reps.
So you can have tough conversations with your coaching staff, but you can't have tough conversations with your boys because that's what they are.
It goes back to the culture, Tom. It's
best friends. So you can't have tough conversations with your best friends, I guess. Ooh.
It's bad. It's bad. It's really, really bad. It's a
That's
culture.
why I want to take some of the heat off of the defensive players because of how bad I just watched the same coverage get rolled out over and over and over again. And then I'm wondering, like, is this a player thing, or is this strictly like this guy just doesn't know what he's doing out there and he's overmatched? I don't know. Right? Like, I don't know. Well, let's see if the tough conversations. I love Kerry. I love the case. Let's see if the tough conversations work. Because you got Carolina team that's not like any of the 2 offenses you just faced. Not even close.
No.
Okay? Especially without no McCaffrey. Not even in the same ballpark. All right, no matter how much Sam Darnold's better there. They're not even in the same ballpark. So if they go down and they get 35 plus put up on them again, or even 28 plus. Like that tough conversation might need to come into a fire because somebody told me yesterday had nothing to do with Nick when you're talking about defense coordinator. What are you talking about? He's the fucking head coach of the football team. It has everything to do. It has everything to do with everything. What are we talking about now? It has nothing to do. This is what I love agendas. I love people's agendas. So you say it's early in Nick's career coaching, but it's not early in Jonathan Gannon's. Wait, why? What? They're both on the same amount of snap counts here. There's the same snap counts. And one is the head football coach who oversees it all. So I don't know why one doesn't have to do the other.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And like to your point with the talent, in comparison to the last two offenses we played, where they lack in talent, they make up for in creativity. So that goes back to, okay, well, this defensive coordinator for once is going to have to make an adjustment because Joe Brady and Matt Rule, that's all they do. That's all they do. I'm not saying they're like friggin' Shanahan, but they're very good. They're very good.
Steven, I know it's a scheme. Like, I know it's a big part of it. I watched it. I also thought this defense had more talent than I've seen too. So it leans me towards the coordinator, but there's a poll question. I'm still on agree. Like it all goes hand in hand. Coordinator and players go hand in hand. So if one isn't good enough, then we're in trouble.
And to like the tough conversations thing, Tom, if Nick Sirianni said it, I almost say it's going to be the opposite because I forget if it was week 2 or week 3. He talks about like, oh, we're going to, our main focus this week in practice is going back to fundamentals and locking in and not shooting ourselves in the foot. What do you do the very next week? You're the leading team in penalties for that week, and you're also the leading team in penalties for the year. The following week, he says, "Oh, we're going to go back and we're going to make sure we go back and we're going to run the ball a lot more in practice. We're going to focus in on that. Now, I'm going to promise my players that I'm going to focus in on the run." What'd you do? You didn't focus in on the run, and that's whatever. Like I'm not going to complain with that as much because listen, we didn't punt. You know what I'm saying? Like we scored a lot of points. We had 3 touchdowns get called back, so we could have had a lot more. But that's a lie. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like you talk about like, oh, we're going to talk about fundamentals. We're going to fix the penalties. We're going to fix the lack of run and then do the exact opposite. So like if you're telling me that
I'm doing the exact opposite. It's not fixing the problem. So when you're continuously telling me that's like, people got mad at Carson last year for the same thing. I got to play better. I got to do this better. We know. You can only say the same things as so many times before it's over. Now the question comes, well, why aren't these things getting fixed?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what's the excuse? Because I'm waiting for that.
Right?
I'm waiting for the built-in excuse on why we're the most penalized team in football because I don't understand why it matters to people how long a guy's coached for. Why that matters. Because what should matter to you is what you're watching. And what you're watching is an undisciplined football team, which starts with their head coach. Why would that make you think that's going to get better? Why would that? Like, who would? It might, because it's hard. You can only go up, right? In a way. But what makes you think that's going to get better? What tells you in your gut that you know what he can get better at having a more disciplined football team? I don't know. I'm not trying to run the guy out of town. I'm just telling you, I don't know that I don't know what he does because it seems like he's too buddy, and I just don't know if buddy's going to work.
And regardless of what the reasoning is for why they're not buttoned up or why it's not being fixed, it still falls on the head coach at the end of the day because it's either you're not communicating it with your players or your players aren't listening to you. So if it's the latter and your players aren't listening to you, then when Barnett or whoever has a costly 15-yard penalty, instead of keeping him out there for the remainder of the drive, you say, oh no, you're going to come off the field and you're going to sit with me for a drive. You're going to sit with me and you're going to watch. In a contract when you're trying to get paid. Instead of, oh, that's okay, we're going to let you continue to play and we're not going to speak with you at all or address it. Because that's showing you that, oh, okay, you can talk with me all week about it and you need to be better, but if you're not going to address it in the game by taking me out, then you're showing your players that, oh, okay, I'm cool with it. I'm not mad at you. I'm not frustrated with you. You're enabling it. And if you're not going to, you're going to cost these guys playing time, which is at the end of the day, money in the long scheme of things. I don't know how you're going to get through to them. I don't. I really, really don't. And Bobby was saying, like, when's Jonathan Gannon going to say to himself, like, okay, maybe this isn't working? And I don't even think it's that, Bobby. I think it's that, like, in the comparison to week 3 to 4, I honestly think in that room, in that defensive coordinator's room all week, they looked at the Cowboys game and they said, okay, well, Dalton Schultz absolutely blew us up. He completely torched us. So we're going to go in this game and we're going to focus on eliminating Travis Kelce. Okay, you did that. But then you focused on just him and you forgot about every other weapon, starting with Tyreek Hill and ending with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's like, okay, you can You can focus on, eliminating the big plays, which you've done a decent job of for the first 4 weeks. But when you're getting beat up and torched underneath every single play, and then you're giving up, it seems like 9-10 yards a touch when you talk about the running backs, whether it's Cordero Patterson, Ezekiel Elliott, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, then I don't give a damn what you're talking about with the big plays because it's resulting in the same thing. And if anything, it's hurting your defense more because you're giving off these 5, 6, 7-yard drives, and your defense is out there for 75% of the game.
Yeah. You can't do that. And then, it's all mind-boggling. The whole process, everything where we watch is extremely mind-boggling. You can't even make it up.
Ramos, why does no one talk about our OC? Well, according to the head coach, he's the one who called plays. You know what I'm saying? It starts with him. It's everybody that's involved, though. We're not absolving the, Steichen. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like when the head coach is the biggest issue, everybody else kind of falls second fiddle.
Yeah, you got to bump and run guys. You got to make things hard on guys defensively. You can run your little zone, your cover 2. If you have linebackers, they can go sideline to sideline, and you have the personnel to do it. But he doesn't seem to be catering to his personnel, and seems to have no want to bring pressure and to do the things that you do to try to help out a defense that's having trouble getting after the quarterback or is having trouble with takeaways, etc. You try to mix it up, try to mix up coverages. I mean, there was nothing mixed up yesterday, right? You just relied on your front 4 to go get it, and if they didn't get there, then you're screwed.
You want to go over the top 5 players after top 5 teams? Sorry, after week 4.
Yeah, top 5.
Yeah, like what figure we would each give our 5, then 4. We would go one by one.
All right.
And fam at home, feel free to chime in with yours also. Thank you, Taylor. He's a Cowboys fan here, but Hurts didn't look too bad yesterday. No. He played B+. He's averaging around a C right now for the year. An A performance week 1, 2 Fs, and then a really solid to very good game yesterday. So I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm B-, but it's all in that B category.
Mm-hmm. Umberto in the league. In the league, we're doing.
I know some people think he's better than he is. I play better than he was.
Yeah, it's like people always got to take it a step above. It's like, guys, we said he's playing good. Everyone's like, no, he didn't play good. He played great. It's like, we lost the freaking game, guys. Like, okay. It doesn't matter if he played good or great. We lost.
I know they didn't light the world on fire last night or anything, but my number 1 team is going to be the defending champs. They're 3-1. They got through a dogfight last night. Rain, the elements, factor that into them being more explosive, but they'll be my 1. My 2 will be the 4-0 Arizona Cardinals. That was a big win for them yesterday. That's sort of a prove it win. They probably got the Rams in the best spot you can get them in after a big win versus Tampa. But I'm not putting the Rams above Tampa quite yet. They're the defending champs. They're 3-1. The Rams are 3-1. I know the Rams beat them, but they're not ahead of them. I will have the Rams. I will have the Rams third, though, even though they lost yesterday. And then I'll have the Bills. The Bills will be 4. And we got to see how they play tonight. I mean, you could make the case. I could make the case that Vegas is 5th right now. Can make that case. I mean, am I going to put them out of Green Bay? I've seen Green Bay's act. Like, that's why I'm just not going to do it. Like, I've seen them win 12 games and playoff time comes and they lose in the NFC title game because they can't stop the run. You know what I mean? They can't stop the run. And I don't know you have the Bucs so low though. Like they're the defending champs. They're 3-1. They're 3-1. They got the guy who just find ways to win football games. He just finds ways. In a game they had no right winning last night. Essentially, they just found a way to win it.
You'll probably go crazy about this. I don't have them in my 5.
Well, that's insane.
Their secondary is torched. They're in trouble. Their secondary is torched. They can't stop anybody.
Okay. They're telling you they're 3-1 and they're the defending champs, and they have the guy who just wins. Wins.
They're good. They might be 6, but I think they're going to be. I have them still making the NFC title game, so I'm not saying they're going to miss the playoffs, but I just can't put them 5 right now. I would say they're probably going to be in my top 5.
If you still that's a contradiction. If you have them making the NFC title game, then they got to be at least top 5. Because only 4 teams that go to the conferences. So if you have
right now,
well, that's no, because a lot of it's projection too. It's not just going off win losses.
All right, well then I don't. All right, then I'll take that back. Then I don't have them making the NFC title game. I can't put them in my 5. I can't. I'll start at 5. I'll work my way down. I've got Green Bay Packers as my number 5. As bad as they were in week 1, Rodgers playing really well. I mean, the last couple games hasn't been even freaking competitive. I know it's been Detroit. We had high expectations for them before the year. I know they had that, that scare in week 1, but you look at them, Devonta Adams is arguably as good as he's ever been. Number 4, and I'm sure people will disagree with this. I actually have Dallas number 4. When you look at strength of schedule, they played great against the Bucs. They played a really good Chargers team on the road and won. Our game wasn't even competitive. And then they faced and then absolutely embarrassed the 3-0 Panthers team. So they've looked awesome. They've been banged up everywhere. And they really don't look like they've skipped a beat. Their defense is forcing turnovers. Trayvon Diggs looks awesome. Dak Prescott looks in control. The combination of Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, Amari Cooper has been hurt the last 3 weeks, and it's like they don't even friggin' need him. Like, I honestly, and I know people hate it because it's the Cowboys, but they've looked really, really good.
They're good. I just both teams you named just don't do it for me right now. Come playoff time to have them in the top 5. Just thinking ahead of the playoffs, like one is shown you year in year out they can't stop the run in the postseason. That's the Packers, no matter how good their offense is. They lost 2 NFC title games at home. I mean, they're the same team. Like nothing's changed, right? So it's like I don't know if they're even getting back to the title game because they get exposed. They get exposed on that side of the ball every year, and Rodgers is always one of the best, if not arguably the best in the league every year. And I feel like every year their defense continues to hurt them in the biggest games of the year. But the Cowboys being top 5 is to me is okay. I mean they haven't really, besides the Chargers win's the only win for me because they haven't per se beaten anybody yet. Like they beat us at home. And they beat a team that I'm not sure of, in my opinion. This is my opinion. In the Carolina Panthers, on how good they are. Like I don't think they're 3-0 good. I didn't think they were 3-0 good. So I don't know how good that team was. And they didn't beat them in Carolina. And granted, you play teams where you play them, but they beat them at home. So they did lose to the Bucs. No matter how close they played with them or not, that's a loss. So the Bucs beat them. The Bucs, if you're looking at that, like the Bucs beat them. So. And the Bucs are 3-1. So, right. That's why I just don't. That's why I'm not. Too like. That's why I personally just don't have those 2 in my 5 just to talk about them.
Yeah, because to your point, you are kind of on the flip side of me with the Panthers, so that's a big turn. And then I'm not saying like I'm giving them like a participation trophy in week 1, but I'm putting a lot more stock into like, yeah, they lost, but they looked awesome against the Bucs when the Bucs were healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like that was by far the healthiest Bucs team we've seen of the 4 weeks, and you still torched them. You know what I'm saying? Like you still had Tom Brady looking at himself 30 seconds ago with like, okay, I gotta go save the day again. when nobody in the country besides like you and like 5 other people thought the Cowboys were even going to compete in that game. You know what I'm saying? And you and I were on the phone. They almost freaking stole it. Like they're like a last second field goal away from being 4-0 today. And I know it's like woulda, coulda, shoulda. It didn't happen. They're 3-1, so it's whatever.
But no, yeah. For sure.
My number 3 team is the LA Rams. I had them as my number 1 team at the beginning, but I like you said, the Cardinals called them at a really good time. It was coming off a big victory against Tampa. They were kind of smelling the roses and everything, but they're just all around. If they stay healthy, they're just an unbelievable football team. They can beat you so many different ways. And it's crazy because if they had Cam Akers, who I think is very good, he's not like awesome. If they had Cam Akers, the fact that they could even be better is horrifying to me. Like they came into this year, Tom, wounded. They came into this season as a wounded football team, and they're still horrifying to play against.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Buffalo Bills. I think we were all high on the Bills. You know what I'm saying? You have them up high, right?
Yeah, I had them in my top 5.
Yeah, so I mean, you summed it up perfectly. And I don't know if I'm putting this team number 1 just because it's like my apology to the nation because I was so wrong, so alarmingly wrong on this team. But the Arizona Cardinals they're filthy. Kyler Murray looks like an MVP. You see the weapons. I mean, Chase Edmonds looks like a running back 1. Their defense, it's like, I think you said it on, I forget what show you said it on yesterday, Tom, but it was like Arizona used to be the team where like old players on defense go to die. It's like, no, it's like a rejuvenation for some guys' careers, and they are filthy everywhere. And Cliff Kingsbury can coach. He can actually coach.
They're really good. Their quarterback, healthy, is extremely good, and I think that's the only reason people were down on him this year is that he wasn't healthy at the end of the year. He couldn't run around like he did, like he is now, and that's the reason they didn't make the playoffs. So, but they're good, and like Don said, AJ Green's finally healthy. They got weapons. They're a problem. They're an absolute problem.
Actually, it's funny, Don just said it, but somebody texted me this last night. They said, imagine if Larry Fitzgerald stuck around just for the hell of it.
Right.
How scary they would be.
He might come back now.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they continue this, it might be his best chance to get to a Super Bowl and win the friggin' thing. He could be their secret weapon.
Martavius or Marvius, it's not that they're disrespected. They're just out of it right now in my eyes. It's just hard to constantly go back. Like, you got to expect like a downish year of some sort once in a while. I mean, listen, they can score with everybody. That's not the question. The question's going to be, can they get any stops? I mean, you looked at an offense in the Eagles yesterday that's not this, it's not a top 5 offense in football. And they looked like one yesterday. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I mean, and you're doing Chiefs radio, your biggest concern today is your defense.
Yeah, Mr. Spagnuolo over there. I mean, I'm not saying he's on any hot seat, but I can't for the life of me, and I'm an Eagles fan. If you don't allow this offense to punt, I can't put you in my top 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like you'll be right there. Like, they'll figure it out. Mahomes is awesome. Tyreek Hill's awesome. Kelsey, Andy Reid. Like,
they go win like 4 or 5 games in a row and show me like, okay, you guys are back. You're 2-2 right now. I mean, they don't deserve to be bottom 5.
That's a great question.
Real quick, it's Jacksonville's obviously in there right now because they just haven't won a game, and until they win, then the Lions, Falcons.
Oh, you're gonna hate my bottom 5?
Man, you can make an argument. Pittsburgh's in the bottom 5 because they look bad. They look bad, but I'm not going to do it to them yet. I mean, the Jets. I mean, as of right now, they're. I know they won a big game yesterday for them, but they're still a bottom 5 team. I mean, we're like right there. We're like 20. We're like 6 or 7 there. We're right in the mix. We're right there. But I don't know. I don't think we're as bad as those teams. The Jets, Jacksonville, Detroit, Atlanta. I mean, they're your 5 worst teams in football.
Yeah, I'll say my number 1 worst team is Jacksonville because you could say a lot about their team, but their coach is maybe even the bigger disaster of the two. Did you see that press conference, Tom? Did you see that clip on Twitter?
Nah.
When he was like apologizing for like the thing that happened over the weekend? Like the guy looked like he wanted to retire on the spot and move to friggin' Australia. Like he wanted to move away. He wanted to just run away and hide.
I feel like he's done that the whole time at Ohio State and everywhere he's been. Like every presser looks like the guy's like he's like dying inside.
Yeah.
Just like having to talk. You know what I mean? Like so I just like stopped listening to Urban because of that. Because you can take so much out of every presser with him. Like, does this guy just get plane tickets? Like, is he okay? Like, I feel like he's leaving. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that, I feel bad for them, though. I mean, Trevor Lawrence can play. I just want people to know that. He's going to be fine. They're going to win a lot of football games, and Urban Meyer's going to be a part of them winning a lot of football games because he's not an idiot either. Like, he's smart enough to know year 1 rookie QB is growing pains. Year 2 rookie QB, you get Josh Allen type. So, right, like year 2 is such a bigger year that I honestly, as much as I could see him walking away, I totally get it. I don't think he's dumb enough to walk away because you're talking about you get another top 5 pick. You want to be Ohio State, you want to play those teams, keep collecting top 5 picks that you nail on as a franchise. He also has an owner there that's willing to spend buku bucks now to win. So he's got some things there that I don't see him leaving there because they're going to set that up to be successful. They got skill position players offensively. They're 0-4 and they're bad. They're bad, right? But they're a year away from being really competitive, especially in the division they're in. Like, remember this, people. They're in a shitty division. The Jaguars are just Trevor Lawrence slowing the game down from being really competitive.
They have one of the worst.
Their division, I'm saying.
Yeah, no, they have one of the worst offensive lines I've ever seen. They came in wounded without Travis Etienne. Everyone's saying, "Oh, why'd you draft? Why aren't you using James Robinson?" Well, because I told you on draft night, Urban for some reason doesn't like James Robinson. That's why he drafted Travis Etienne. Now you're without DJ Chark. Their defense isn't good enough. They lost a lot of pieces from years ago. But to your point, Tom, they have the core. As much as we say the Eagles don't have a core, the Jaguars have a core. It's about just figuring out everything else around it. Like Trevor Lawrence. And obviously,
make an argument that I would rather be a Jacksonville Jaguars fan right now moving forward than a Philadelphia Eagles fan moving forward.
Yeah, because they know they have their quarterback.
Because I just don't know that yet.
No, I'm looking. There's 0% of Jaguars fans, if they're sane, that would go into next year being like, "Oh, we got to address the quarterback." That's all we're talking about as Eagles fans. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like Hurts has been an F. He's been a C. But they have a core down in Jacksonville. So they're number 1 right now. But to your point, Tom, with Houston being awful and they're bad, I'll just put them number 2 while I'm talking about them. They're bad. Davis Mills, Jesus God. They're not going anywhere anytime quickly. The Titans, they have weapons, but And the Colts, I mean, you have Carson Wentz. Have fun with that. My number 3 worst team, I guess I got to go Jets. Happy for them to win yesterday, but they're definitely 3. Falcons 4, they're bad.
Well, one's a rookie, Mike. The other guy's not a rookie. I was arguing with my buddy on this on the phone today. He's not a rookie. One guy's not a rookie. So, yeah, I agree with you that, he played like him, but he actually played really good last week for a rookie. He's shown to be able to get a little bit better. You can't judge the rookie year and year 2. I mean, year 2 is supposed to be a jump year. I mean, we are all out acting like Jalen Hurts is Ben Simmons. We're allowing him to do his rookie year over again. Like, no, it was a rookie year. He didn't play. I get you. He only started 3 games. I got all that. But he still, went through the process of an NFL season in terms of, preparation, all the extra that comes with it. Not even as much about the play on the field. Is about the preparation and what kind of job it really is. So, yeah, whatever.
And my number 5, as much as I really want to put Pittsburgh on here because Big Ben looks like he retired 2 years ago.
People, this is what's wrong with people. This is what's wrong with people. You can't do this.
Oh God!
Can't do this.
Why do people sit on that hill like they're the same person?
I think one has way bigger upside. If you don't sit at home and think Trevor Lawrence has way more upside than Jalen Hurts, I'm not telling you. Maybe Trevor Lawrence will stink. Maybe he'll stink. Maybe he'll never be good. But every fucking person in America that does this for a living has way more upside with him than Jalen Hurts. And guess what he can do? He can run around and he's faster than Jalen Hurts. And he actually can throw moving to his left.
Howie P even agrees with us. He never agrees with us. Howie P agrees.
Come on, man. I want to love my own. But this is what you guys are making me. You want to know the agenda? The agenda is the people out there that are making it an agenda. You're making me have to yell and scream about a guy that I didn't even want to bring up today. I didn't even want to have to talk about him today because I got so much grief for grading him a B- yesterday. You would have thought I freaking said the guy stunk yesterday. I can't do it anymore. You guys think this guy's a franchise guy? Then go ahead. Go ahead.
People make it so hard for us to root for people. People make it so hard.
I'm going to wait this out a little bit before I'm going to sit on a hill one way or the other and tell you he can or can't be. But through 4 weeks, it's not been franchise quarterback. It's been an average quarterback, guys. Average. So you can take Pro Football Focus's stats and put him in here, and you kiss my ass with them. Because a lot of it is judged at the quarterback position off wins and losses, too. Especially in year two. Year one, no. Year two, yes.
He actually did it.
He put the stats in. This is what we're doing. Like, I don't know his stats. Like, I don't know Trevor Lawrence has not had a great rookie year. Like, he's a rookie. Name guys that usually do. Because they're usually not in good situations either.
People were trying to say last week too, like, oh, where's that energy with Joe Burrow? Well, that team's 3-1.
Made the jump. Made the year two jump. So, yeah. I mean, the year two jump is important to me. So, people fantasy-wise with it. Fantasy stats. I mean, I would literally sell a lot of things to be able to make that trade for Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with people. But whatever.
My number 5 team, real quick, before we get to the wheel. I'm sorry, Don. I wanted to put the Steelers, but I got to put your team. I have to. And I don't even think I need to explain it. It's Detroit.
Yeah, it is.
And Jared Goff looks scared to death.
No, Don, I would just keep waiting on it. Honestly. You got a stopgap there. What the stopgap? Play and just keep trying to get other players.
Yeah, I would wait for like Archie Manning. I don't know what year he comes out, but just wait. Just take your time.
But listen, we were going to do the wheel tonight. Let's do the wheel on Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll do the wheel Wednesday instead of tonight, so we'll get people, all our A2D members, and you can become one right in the comment section on YouTube. The link's right there. Become a A2D member, $9.99 a month. Get your picks from Money Pop Podcast every week. Willie Vegas Daily Fantasy Advice, 20% off A2D gear, shout outs, the whole 9. Plus, you get on the wheel every week, not only on Monday or Wednesday, if not both, but Saturday as well on the weekly roundup on A2D. But you're in the jersey giveaway, and then Steve's doing giveaways. So, listen, fam, no better time than right now. Become a member. You also have 2 other live shows coming up here on the platform tonight. The Sports Hounds will be live at 7:15, followed by the Flight Zone at 9:30. So make sure you turn on your damn alerts. Hit the subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button if you haven't. Do it. You know what, Tommy? I think it's too. I would not. Thank you. We'll give her picks for tonight. No, this is Vegas to me. I don't know why. I like the Chargers a lot more than I like Vegas. The Chargers are coming. This is what we're talking about. Last week, the Rams beat the Bucs. Emotional win for them. They come back this week. They're only the same football team. Part of that, they're going against a damn good Arizona team. Same thing going on this week. Chargers coming off a huge win against Kansas City. I actually like the Raiders tonight. I actually like the Raiders tonight. The
What's
cover. The cover. I'm talking
What's
about
the
cover.
line?
I gotta go look it up again. Yeah, Kevon, we've been on for an hour and a half now. We've been on for an hour and a half, brother. You can go back and listen to it. You know this. Me and Rye will be back Wednesday night, but you got 2 other shows coming up for you. Talking NFL, talking football. So you got plenty on the docket. You got plenty on the docket to get you guys through. It is the Raiders are +3. So, but no, I just do like the Raiders for some reason tonight. I think they go 4-0.
That'd be wild. That'd be great for them with the new stadium. I'll go Chargers though, mostly just because I need the Chargers because Justin Herbert's my fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, he's mine too.
Oh, is he?
He's one of mine. Yeah, one of mine.
One of your 7.
Nah, you're good, Kayvon. You're good. We're just apologetic. I feel bad, but you can go back and listen to everything you missed. You know that, brother. Oh, what are they gonna say? Okay. So the wheel spin for our members will be Wednesday night. So everybody know we'll do it Wednesday. Just with a lot of platforms down when we started the show.
Mm-hmm.
Rather have the whole audience in for it, per se, in case somebody wins. So that's why we'll wait the Wednesday on that one. But like I said, turn your alerts on. Sports Hounds, followed by the Fight Zone coming up on A2D Radio. We were brought to you by FanUp, and get in right now. Download the app right now. Get in on the Monday Night Football contest. I know I will be. They have daily NFL contests and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. It's a $50 value at FanUp.app or right on the Apple Store. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Go download the app. Use the promo code. Plus, you get bonus points for just signing up. So you're gonna get probably gonna have like 15,000 bonus points. It's a no-brainer. That'll probably take you all freaking year, unless you're doing like 80 lineups a day. You know what I mean? It should take you all a year. The best thing about it, no salary cap. Close friend of mine, close buddy of mine. Go download the app. It's tremendous. Freaking great app. And if you win, they get you right into the PayPal that minute. That minute they text you to confirm your information. It's great. So better than the other ones. That's what I say. They're better than the other ones. We're also brought to you by Manscaped, and you can get 20% off. Free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Go take care of yourself, people. That's all I can tell you. Constantly go take care of yourself. More promo codes. BodyCheckWellness.com. Promo code A2D for 25% off at checkout. Go do it. BodyCheck Wellness. Love the clarity and focus. A lot of other great products. Go take care of yourself. Go take care of your body too. All right. We talked about, your outsides. Now go take care of your insides. Okay. Go take care of some of them insides, baby. And use that promo code A2D, 25% off at BodyCheckWellness.com. Let me give off the other ones. Many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We're happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. Reach out to our guy, Rob Lutman, 856-651-8117. If you need anything, he's your guy. So reach out, family. Don't hesitate. And our boy Alan Foy of eXp Realty. It is a seller's market right now and a buyer's. You got like a combo. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a change in career or brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty, 302-682-8820. That's Ryan Bretto. I'm Tom Arnone. Thank you all for tuning in. We love you. And Darius Slay's tweet currently is in the conversation for Crumb of the Year. He's in the conversation. In the conversation. We're gonna have a top 10 list, and he's in the conversation. Might only be an honorable mention, but but right now he's in there. He's in there. Timing's everything, baby. Perception's all we got.
He's not number one.
Not number one. All our members, Russ, Bob, Johnny, Don, all the rest of them that are in there, Pete, right? Make sure you guys are all back Wednesday. We'll do the wheel. All right? We'll wheel it up. We're going to wheel it up and give away another jersey. And if you're not a member, become one. Tell you again, links right in our comment section. We're not only giving away jerseys, we're winning you guys a lot of money, our members. So don't wait. Stay tuned. Sports Hounds, Flight Zone, coming up next. We out.